How you doing?
That's the lag. It's a 7-minute lag.
It's a 7-minute lag.
Suck it.
It's 6:08, and we probably still have a hard out before 8 o'clock. So our 2 hours is now, what, an hour and 40 minutes?
We got to run through these books real quick. We got a couple minutes, and then we get out of here.
Good stuff.
Appreciate everybody's patience. We could see you in the chat. I'm sorry. We can't interact, and we were kind of stuck. But thank you, everybody, for waiting.
Yeah. We somebody else ran late for whatever reason or what have you, but it's irrelevant to the fact that
we're here now.
Here we are, the non-racist, non-anti-Semite Riggs and the not too old for it yet Murtaugh. I was watching Lethal Weapon 1 last night, and the whole time I'm like, oh yeah, I'm totally doing a Riggs Murtaugh.
That wasn't clear to me, but I'm okay with it.
Not too old for it yet, buddy. Again, dude, Murtaugh is 50. It's all again, that blows my mind. He's like, no, you're not old, man. Like, not even a little bit.
What was Riggs supposed to be?
Well,
did they bring it up? Like, was he in his 30s still?
I think he's supposed to be like in his like mid to late 30s or what have you. But because the person who plays, it's hard to call yourself Riggs and not condone certain behavior.
Start yelling.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Please, someone record me right now as I say some hateful bullshit. Anyway, thank you, everyone, for joining us. Yes, you can see down there. For anyone who's not aware, we do it. Wait, is that Zainin is in the chat?
Even Zainin hung around.
Zainin, were you around for the local show? Did you see what was going on? Hey, Zainin, by the way, I actually hurt myself. Yeah, dude, I messed up my wrist and I messed up my shoulder. How ridiculous was that? Zainin was there when I fell off my bike.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was so stupid. It was the dumbest thing in the world. We were hanging out at the bus stop, having a conversation, and I was like leaning on the bike, and the bike slipped out from under me, and it took my legs out, and I just fell backwards.
You get a picture of that, Zainin? I can put it on the show. I know Jerry. Jerry will help me out.
And instead, Zainin's like, dude, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And there was like 30 people around us who were all staring at us. And I was like, it's okay, people. It's okay.
Why do you look at me?
Please, I'm embarrassed enough. Anyway, thank you, everyone, for joining us. And for anyone who is following us over from our recent local show that we just had, thank you very much for being here. And thank you for your patience dealing with our technical issues. And then right after our technical issues, we came on 8 minutes late. So we are just the epitome of professionalism at this point. Thank you that we have books, like I said, sell themselves tonight, because we are definitely a foot behind when it comes to this stuff.
Shout out to Mr. English in the chat.
Mr. English, what's up, buddy?
Hope everything's working out with your recovery.
Dude, we look forward to seeing you again in the shop, man. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, you better roll your ass on in here, buddy. No, but your subscription started too, so you got books being held for you. So you're all good, man. You're all good, man.
Thank you. So let's do a little business real quick. So we are Fat Jack's Comicrypt. The show is sometimes actually at this point, I guess it's only referred to as the Latchkey Manifesto. So I hope the 15-year-old version of me who really wanted friends to do a band and call that are happy. Because that's what we seem to be called at this point. I'm Brendan. That's Al, the quote-unquote Riggs and Murtaugh of this show tonight. We're hanging out here, and we're going to talk and sell comic books. Mostly the comic books are going to sell themselves. But, who knows? Maybe this will be really fast, and we'll find ourselves with an hour to kill. So good thing I have bundles and other weird little books to try to sell you guys. For anyone who's watching us now for the very first time, the way this works is you got to claim the book in the chat. Please be as specific as possible. So if there's an Iron Man book, there's 2 Iron Man books, and one of them has Iron Man and the Submariner.
Yeah, that was a little.
Try to throw that in there so we don't get confused. Try to be as specific as possible, even if you have to use like little code words, just stuff that we can go back, because there's a timestamp. The experience is very technical and professional in this regard, and our boy Jerry is with us tonight. So he will be maintaining the timestamp, which means first claimed, first served. All right. So yeah. So claim a book in the chat.
And with these, we ask within 10 days. 10 days within reason. Obviously, if it's a ridiculous reason or something, you're out of the country or something like that, that's fine. But these are all big ticket items, and if you don't want to pick them up, it's no harm, no foul. Just let us know. Please.
Yeah, please. These are not books we want sitting for weeks to months. Okay, it's just for anyone who wasn't following us on our local show earlier, these are some pretty big items, and there's a few books here that are being hidden at the moment that are pretty epic. Okay, we're talking Holy Grail style books, and books that are quite hot specifically to the market right now. Not just a few years ago or whatever.
You guys want to close the door so they can't hear you watching the show with your credit card.
Yeah, because just some of these books are pretty pricey, okay? We'll start with some of the less pricey just to kind of give us a little bit of a lead in here. But again, if you claim any books tonight, like we said, we would like to think that maybe within the next 10 days you might be able to purchase them. Obviously, for whatever reason you're unable, please just let us know, because these are books we will definitely put right back into rotation. If not, Mike might even try to sell them online. Again, for anyone who wasn't watching us on the local show, I just want everyone to know that these specific key issues, until I get to the ones that I did, they were all graded by OG Fat Jacks himself, Mike. So if you can't trust Mike, then I don't know what you're doing watching this. Because he's the man.
That's the one thing you can't complain about.
Yeah.
No way they were graded.
Don't come back at us and be like, he's very specific. Like, I didn't even know what the whole purple spray paint thing was until he told me.
A lot of these books need covers on them.
Well, hey,
that affects stuff too, I guess.
Yeah, it does, So anyway, so you claim the books in the chat. We all know that. We are here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for anyone who's outside of the country. So if you're here locally, you can always stop by and pick the books up you claimed. If you're closer to the Oakland, New Jersey shop, obviously we will send them over there. You can pick them up there. But if you are outside of the area and you need books shipped to you, if you are already not somebody who has purchased books and has had Al shipping them to you, then we are going to need to hear from you so we can get your shipping info and your contact information. The best way to contact us in that regard is our email. And our email is, it's obviously scrolling, but it's fjccshow@gmail.com. That's primarily Al taking care of business. Outside of that, you can always follow us every week on our Instagram page, which popped up earlier. That's at the FJC Paradox. Some of the books that we get, especially big key ones, we'll kind of promote them on the page just to kind of give people a little bit of a heads up that some of these books will show up. Now, some of those books that have appeared on the Instagram page in the past few days, they are here, but there is a bunch of books that, and you've heard me say this before, if you watched the show last week or maybe even the week before, we're talking 11th hour mic drop off. And a bunch of these books, and a couple of them that are big books, they were definitely books that we just got our grubby little hands on a couple hours ago. So with that said, let's think. Like and subscribe. That's the currency of how all this works. So, please like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. There's our Instagram page. Thank you, Jerry. There's our name. That's our phone number. For any reason, we haven't made this joke in a while, but if for whatever reason you can't hit us up in chat or what have you, you can always give us a phone call. But again, I will reiterate, if you prank us, Al will break the phone, but we will stop before he breaks it. So no one's going to get any joy out of watching him freak out, okay?
And no books for anybody.
Yeah, man, it's like one person ruins it for all,
Thank you, Mr. Chamberlain.
Thank you, Mr. Chamberlain.
Mr. Chamberlain can attest to our shipping. He hasn't had any issues yet, and I was very, very nervous this week because he got that FF number 4.
Oh, yeah,
I was super nervous sending that to me.
Well, because let's not forget the great shipping to Ohio and somebody in the post office stole the books, and yet some guy called us scumbags because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to sell books and then take them out of
and then ship an empty.
The idea that we would make a box, tear the box open, take the books out, and then ship. It's insane.
They would take it. Anyway.
Mr.
Chamberlain, we appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, so and again, I want to say when it comes to good shipping, that's our boy here, all right? Okay, I'm only the pretty face, and when I say pretty face, I mean the Stooges song because Pretty Face is going to hell. All right, so let's not belabor this point for too much longer.
Let's get to some books here.
Let's talk about some books.
People have waited long enough.
All right, thank you very much for your patience. We are now going to get into it, okay? So I threw these books up, and there's some slight order to it, but not that much. But we're going to start out with a couple of the smaller ones just to kind of like tease a little bit. So the first one up is Avengers number 66. This is a very good copy at $35. This is an issue published in 1969. It is the first appearance of Ultron 6, which is one of the more famous Ultrons. Recently, I was telling a story on the local show that we did have Avengers number 55, the first appearance of any Ultron, but a bunch of a family was waiting for me to finish pricing, and then they gobbled that bad boy up. In this issue is also the first mention of the adamantium metal. It is also the first appearance of the scientist whose name I cannot remember at the moment, who created the adamantium. But another fun thing about this is a gorgeous John Buscema cover, but the artist in this issue, as well as our next issue, is Barry Windsor Smith. I was going to make some kind of like, not a joke, but, a little bit of a preamble into, but let's just get into it. Barry Windsor Smith was illustrating Avengers at this time, a few years before his infamous run on Conan. Anyway, this is Avengers 66, very good copy, $35. And then I already kind of mentioned it. This is great cover, very iconic cover. This is issue number 67. This is Avengers issue 67 from 1969. It is a continuation of the Ultron story that was going on at the time. Again, a gorgeous John Buscema cover, but the interior art is still a young little art prodigy by the name of Barry Smith, who would later be called Barry Windsor Smith. This is a Fine Plus copy at $40. All right. So there we go. So that's our start, okay? Now, I have absolutely forgotten. I knew that those two were the beginning.
You got
it.
You want me to tell you what?
No, don't, because I'm pretty sure the next two are still Avengers.
They're
okay, no, I do remember now.
yeah.
Yes, okay, I do remember. Okay, so now we're going to wade back into some pricey books, okay? So the first one up. Now, this one, its key is primarily there were two opportunities where this character's origin was initially told. One of them was FF number 52. FF number 53. FF 52 is the first appearance of this character. But the very first, the two issues that started to tell the origin of Black Panther was Fantastic Four number 53 and Avengers number 87. All right. So origin of Black Panther, it is an iconic issue and an integral issue in regards to the Black Panther mythos, specifically our boy T'Challa. Now, this is a gorgeous copy, very fine near mint copy. We're selling it tonight, $150. All right, not $1.50. That's $150, folks. Again, I think we had a copy of this a long time ago, but it was in terrible condition, and it was still a hot book. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous book. It is a predominantly solo Black Panther, and you're finding all about his sweet, sweet origin. Oh, it's claimed.
Thank you, Mr. Chamberlain.
All right, Mr. Chamberlain. Good stuff. Pulling the trigger. Bang, bang, bang.
Awesome.
All right, now, this next one, and I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong.
Whew. Man, that's a really nice copy.
It is, right?
Like,
it's gorgeous.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah. And for Mike to call it very fine near mint, that's a big deal.
That's not. I mean, there's like no chipping.
Yeah. And that yellow, man, like it's so bright. again, our imagery does not show off how saturated and beautiful the colors are on this book. Okay. I saw a Ultron. Mike, okay, so you're taking the first appearance of Ultron 6. That's our very good copy at $35. Cool. That's our boy Mike Bear.
Thank you, Mike.
Who's got that cool? Mike, if you want to throw up another link in the
throw up a link for Mike's YouTube channel.
Yeah, please. Again, I will reiterate.
If that's allowed, I hope. Yeah, throw a link up, man.
Yeah,
he does comic reviews and stuff on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's decent.
It's nothing. Yeah, anyone wants to support the comic community and stuff like that, other people's art, creativity, podcasts, everything like that, go for it. As long as you're not inciting an insurrection or a riot, what does it matter?
In which case, nothing happens to you.
Well, you know. Oh, hey, welcome to our show.
Let's sell some books.
Even when we just have books that will sell themselves, these two idiots can't help themselves.
Let's just throw something out there.
Okay, so for anyone who follows us on the Instagram page, this was one that we posted up there, and I got a lot of DMs, or we got a lot of DMs. Again, we don't have Venmo yet, so and making us the best offer that you think is the best offer is very appreciative. Thank you very much for following. But to be very honest,
did anybody come close?
Actually, it's one person. I almost took him up on it because it was like double. I was like, oh no. I was like, tune in. That's what I was like. Well, seriously, don't pay that. Don't pay anybody that. Just if you really want this book, tune in Sunday night, 6:00 or whatever I was saying. But
DMs.
Everyone's sliding into DMs. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, this is before Mike showed up with his 11th hour, I thought that this is one of, next to our FF number 3, which we sold on our local show a couple hours ago. This was one that I was like, this is the biggest, the crown jewel. This is a book that people are looking for. No, it's not Avengers 8, the first appearance of Kang the Conqueror, but it is the beautiful middle child called Avengers number 10, the first appearance of our boy Immortus. He is obviously part of the Kang the Conqueror lineage. So we have Kang, we got Immortus, we got Rama Tut, we got Scarlet Centurion, we got Iron Lad. There's a lot of Kangs. And for anyone who's recently watched the Loki show and is aware of any of the Phase 4 Marvel stuff, Kang and all of the different variations are going to be extremely important. And because of that, anything connected to these characters is very hot and very sought after. And this is one that is no different. Gorgeous Jack Kirby cover, Stan Lee, Don Heck interior arts, first appearance of Immortus. This is a fine copy. Let me make sure there's nothing else. Nope, fine copy at $300. All right. Oh, and it's already walking away.
Thank you, Mr. Kieran.
All right, Mr. Kieran.
Mr. Kieran, no need for the, you can throw some exclamation points in there. Be proud of that.
Yeah.
Claim this book.
Hey, Kieran, Jason, like and subscribe.
It's a party. I don't know.
Yeah, we're all having a good time. All right.
Is that a show? Us just standing here looking at these books?
Yeah, probably. Dude, honestly, man, I stared at that thing for had to be 10, 20 minutes. And I flipped through each one very gently.
It's very cool.
It's just, again, what's the likelihood I'm going to see that book again? Jason, you know what? Relax.
There you go.
Relax, my friend.
Yeah. Pump your chest up a little bit. You just bought Avengers number 10.
Yeah. Oh, and didn't he just purchase Avengers number 6?
Yeah.
So Jason, you don't need to tell us you love your villains. You got Baron Zemo number 1. You got the first appearance of the Masters of Evil. You got the first appearance of Immortus. I even heard you had a first appearance of Sabretooth and a first appearance of Morbius. I mean,
I hope you know some law enforcement. Because a lot of people are going to be looking for you, man.
Oh, I cannot believe I just pulled this bad boy out. Okay.
Thank
you, Jason. All joking aside, thank you, Jason. This is always a pleasure.
I want to thank everybody every time someone buys something today.
No, because you validate our existence.
It's
And Mike doesn't feel bad that he lets us do this. Okay, so this next one. All right. A little anecdote. I got a phone call from Mike the other day. And Mike goes, first thing he says to me, he goes, you know, you kept ragging on me on all the shows. And I go, Mike, I never rag on you. And he's like, I've seen otherwise. And I'm like, Mike, it's all done out of love. He's like, it doesn't seem like love. But I just want you to know, for all those times that you whined and complained that I had this book and I sold multiple copies and I never gave you the opportunity to try to sell one. He's like, I'm going to rectify that just to make you feel guilty and bad about all of your little bitching and whining. Not only am I going to give you a copy to try to sell to people, but it is going to be the best copy we have had since we sold any of these. Now, this was an iconic book already, but it has especially become iconic in recent months. And we are specifically talking about a book that I whined and complained about not being given a copy to try to sell on this show. It is from 1969, Captain America 117. All right, for anyone who doesn't immediately recognize that cover, this is the first appearance of Sam Wilson, the Falcon, and more importantly, the first appearance of Red Wing. Right? No? Come on, people.
I mean, that's why Rayo's taking it.
And this is a very fine copy at $600. So, Mike, thank you very much for making me feel like I don't have a good joke.
No, keep going. Sorry.
No, I don't know. Like at this point, I'm just gonna keep.
I was just gonna I came in the one Monday and he was like, "This is what I got," and there was two of those sitting. I was like, "Holy shit! Where did these come from?" Like,
That's right. So here we have first appearance of Falcon and Red Wing. Very fine copy at $600. This is a hot book, man.
Thank you, Mr. Rayo.
All right, Mr. Rayo.
Awesome.
All right, say goodbye.
Everybody in the chat. I mean, it's pretty clear in my chat. I don't know if you guys want to check, but he was clearly first.
Cool. Well, you know what? Just because it's sort of on brand, let's. I'm going to show off two books real quick. No, three books actually.
Oh, he was not. Never mind. I apologize. Mr. Chamberlain, you got it.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
All right. Now, I was not intending to do this, but I realized while trying to. Oh, actually, okay. So let's put these three here for right now, because all of these books connect to one another. So I'm really big into creative synergy.
Hey, wait.
Yes.
Do that.
Yeah.
Because quick commercial break.
Oh, it's a break. Okay.
Before you start.
All right, so we're going to go to a quick break, and then we're coming right back to all this stuff, okay? Cool.
My apologies to everybody for the confusion, but yes, Mr. Chamberlain got that book.
Okay, all right. And if you doubt us, ask Jerry, our producer. He's got a timestamp.
And I guess he had one, and it was restored. So he wanted a copy that was not restored.
Oh, Mr. Rayo had. Wait, Mr. Chamberlain?
Mr. Chamberlain.
Okay.
He bought one, but it was restored.
Okay, all right. How much did a restored, what do restored copies really go for? Like, how does that affect the value?
I think it
obviously affects the value.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I'm curious.
Cool. All right, so we're going to stick right now in the Falcon kind of corner of the Captain America books real quick, okay? So the next one we're going to talk about real quick is Captain America from 1969, issue number You guessed it, 118. The second appearance of Sam Wilson the Falcon. That's right. He's punching Nazis. As anyone who's watched the show knows, we love when Nazis get punched. It's one of the very few people or demographics that I feel violence towards is acceptable. This is a fine plus copy at $65. All right. Second appearance of the Falcon.
Real quick.
Oh yeah. Shade being thrown?
No. It was okay. Well, thank you, Zanin.
Oh, Zanin. All right, buddy.
All right, Zanin. And real quick, it was sold to him and restored without him knowing, and he found out when he got it slabbed.
Oh, that sucks.
That really does suck. I'm sorry about that.
And there's no way, like, you can't go back to like an acute. I don't know how that works. Again,
I changed my mind. I don't want this book anymore.
I mean, I'm the idiot who one time sold a book that didn't have a coupon because that was the one page I skipped. Like a dumbass. So
just to everybody in the chat, we got a lot of books to get through, so I'm not going to get through to every comment. So we're just kind of trying to stick to business as much as we can tonight. So,
like, there are plenty of shows where we're going to labor through.
Yeah, like I'm seeing the comments. I'm seeing everybody's comment. It's just we got
a lot of books to get through. So bear with us. We apologize. This is an action-packed episode.
It's worth it. Like, these are really cool books.
Yeah, if anything else, even if you can't buy them, man, these are just really cool books. So these are 3 issues that are going to kind of coincide with our beautiful first appearance and second appearance of Falcon Sam Wilson. So real quick, we are going to talk about here. I don't want to hold these the whole time, so I'm not. All right. So the next one up is here, Captain America from 1970. This is issue number 126. Okay. This is a very fine near mint copy at $40. All right. Now, this is the first appearance of Diamond Head, and this is the issue where Sam Wilson gets arrested. Guess why he gets arrested? You don't need to say it in the chat, and I don't need to say it out loud, okay? It's Harlem in the in 1970 Harlem, okay? So Sam Wilson is arrested, and Cap is like, that is unfair. We are not going to abide by that. So Steve Rogers breaks into prison, something more illegal than what Sam Wilson got arrested for. He breaks into prison. He gives Sam the Captain America costume. And then Steve Rogers, as a white man, walks out of the prison. And when the cops go, where are you coming from? He's like, oh, Captain America just saved me. I was a hostage inside of your prison. And then the cops go, Captain America is here? And so suddenly they look, and there's Captain America jumping away. And they're like, yay, Cap! And Steve's like, yeah. So anyway, this is the very first time that Sam Wilson ever wears the Captain America uniform. And as anyone who is obviously aware of what's been going on in the MCU and in comic books, that is a historically significant circumstance. So again, Captain America, 126, very fine near mint at $40. And then we have, now for anyone who watched the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, we were introduced to Sam Wilson's sister and his nephew and niece. Now this issue, I don't know where the niece came from, but here we have Captain America issue 134 from 1971. This is the issue where the title is now retitled as Captain America and the Falcon. But more than anything, it is the first appearance of Sarah Wilson and her son and Sam Wilson. Sarah Wilson is obviously Sam Wilson's sister and his nephew. I don't know whatever happened to the niece. Maybe she was born in the 80s. And you also get the first appearance of Stoneface. Guess who Stoneface is? You guessed it. He's a Harlem gangster. One of the many Harlem gangsters that will show up in Captain America and the Falcon at different points. So anyway, this is a very fine copy at $30. And then, yes?
Thank you, Mr. English, for the claiming 126, and Zane is taking 134.
All right, cool.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And the last of, I believe, our Captain America and Falcon issues, outside of whatever I have scrolled away over there, We have a really fun one. This is Captain America 171 from 1974. This is a very fine plus copy. This is the issue where Falcon gets his more traditional red and white winged costume, the costume that would become much more iconic and known in regards to Sam Wilson as the Falcon. But you also get Captain America and the Falcon teaming up with our boy Black Panther. Right on. So there we go. Very fine plus copy at $30. Again, this is Captain America 171. All right. So there's our little foray into. Oh, someone just claimed 171. It looks like. Okay, there we go. All right, we're gonna say goodbye to that. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it. All right, so now we are going to move on to the next one. Now, at this point in the show, I have completely forgotten what is up there. Al, do not tell me, because I'm looking forward to be surprised, and then my drug-addled brain can try to come up with whatever anecdote I can think of.
I mean, put it this way: I'm excited to see these books.
Okay, so these next two, they're big.
Pretty much everything, but yeah, the next two are the next two are two of the ones that I would.
Okay, all right.
I'm excited about.
Okay. Here we go. All right, so there's those two little bad boys sitting right over there, and now we're gonna grab the first one. All right, so let me. All right.
If I had any foresight, I would have swapped those out for like some trash.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Damn it.
We really lost the humor of this.
Yeah,
we don't prank each other as much as we used to.
it's coming back.
When did this get serious? All right, so here we go. All right. Okay. Oh, yeah.
See?
Oh, yeah.
I told you. It's
right.
It's a good one.
Dude, this is one of those that I've never held in my hands physically before. Okay. Now, it's not 48 and it's not 49. Some of you are probably guessing, but it is issue 50. And the title of this 50th issue is Fantastic Four, number 50. All right? For anyone who is not familiar with what this issue is, all right, it is the third appearance of the Silver Surfer. It is the second appearance of Galactus, and something that a lot of people are not aware of and should probably get on the bandwidth for in terms of the future is the first appearance of Wyatt Wingfoot, okay? If you don't know who that character is, I could sit here and talk about it, but let's not belabor the point, all right? Just look it up. It's going to become important, especially in the MCU, especially in Disney Plus series. It's a book that has been connected, it's a character that's connected to a lot of other characters. But, so let's talk about this. This is a fine plus copy at $600. And for anyone who's not aware of what this storyline is, it is the three-part story that introduced us to the Silver Surfer and introduced us more specifically to Galactus. Galactus came to Earth to eat us, and the FF stood up and stood proud to protect us. And another first appearance that I did not note on the little price tag there, but it is still important. It is the first appearance of a little item called the Ultimate Nullifier. All right, so, and there's our gorgeous Jack Kirby cover. And again, you've heard me say this over and over again. The original Stan Lee Jack Kirby Fantastic Four run is one of the greatest 20th century American works of art. I'm not just talking comics. I mean American works of art. So there we go. Fine plus copy, $600.
Thank you, Mr. Kiernan. And there was two claims in there. Mr. Kiernan, he got in there just a little quicker.
We fully understand that is an awesome book. That was an 11th hour book where Mike showed up with a box and went, here, do something with this, as if like it was going to be difficult. And I saw that in there and I went, ah. It's gorgeous. I love it. All right. Now we move on to the next one. And I have a feeling I know what this next one is now that I've saw what that one is. Yeah. Because I did put these two next to each other.
We did put the books up.
Yeah. But then I completely forgot. Like, it just happens.
No, but these are somewhat,
these
are somewhat connected.
Okay. Now, this is a very good plus copy. Okay. So It's not, you're not going to CGC this bad boy and it's going to be a 9.8, which, come on. For a book from 1966, 9.8. All right, whatever. Okay. There's a whole industry out there that I barely understand. But this book, no matter what the condition it's in, this has become one of the most culturally relevant comic books of the 21st century. Okay. It was still a very important book, even in the 20th century. It is the first appearance of a character that has always been important. It's always been an amazing character, but this character has, in the past few years, become so culturally significant, especially in the kinds of transitional, difficult times that we are living in. This character has kind of taken on a life of its own. And because of that, this issue, which maybe 8 to 10 years ago, you could have got for like $50 to maybe $100 in like really good condition. This is a book that most people are quickly getting outpriced for. So even at a very good plus, we have this at $600, and I still think that's a conservative estimate. Yes.
No, finish what you're doing.
Oh,
I'll go over it. No, it's not important.
Okay, it's not relevant to what I'm talking. Okay, all right.
Sorry.
So the book I'm specifically talking about is in issue number 52. If you've been paying attention to the book that we just sold, you probably know what this is. And if you do not immediately recognize this cover, then why do you read comic books? We are talking about Fantastic Four number 52, the first appearance of Black Panther, T'Challa, the first appearance of Wakanda, like a book that has become more valuable, culturally speaking, than even the comic industry can contain. Like, this is important, okay? This is a true cultural artifact now. Like, it was always important before. There are amazing anecdotes in terms of Jack Kirby and stuff of that nature in regards to the creation of this character. We've already had our fun little political joke about a Tales of Suspense that wouldn't allow the use of the word black in the title of this character. But this is one of the most important single issues and single first appearances of a character in a very long time. So that is why, even at a very good plus, this is still a conservative price at $600. Because at some point, like with Batman and Superman and things of that nature, the Black Panther will become just such a cultural artifact. This issue, in and of itself, in decades from now, will become sort of a priceless a cultural artifact. So again, Fantastic Four, number 52, by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, the first appearance of Black Panther, our bad boy T'Challa. All right. And of course, it's claimed. There was no way in hell that book was walking out here today. All right? No way. Like, again, when Mike told me he had that, I got really excited because we haven't seen a copy of that. This shop, the last time it had a copy that we could sell was back in, I think, 2011. And I think it might have been like a fine plus. And I think we sold it for like $100, maybe $120. All right. Because the character, he was relevant again. I hate to use that term, relevant again. Obviously, we had the amazing Christopher Priest run for Marvel Knights in the late 90s that really brought the character back into the comic book consciousness. Then you got the Reginald Hudlin storyline that reintroduced it, introduced Shuri and a bunch of other new concepts to the Black Panther mythos. But the character was back in it. It's not just about comic books anymore. That's about our culture and our society. And T'Challa is extremely important. Okay. And if anyone missed out on this little movie called Black Panther, you missed out on one of the more culturally relevant films of the past decade. All right. So
good call.
Yeah.
Nice grab, Mr. Brute.
That's a beautiful one, man.
That's great.
All right.
Mike Baer had a chance for one for $60.
Oh,
2011.
2011. I'm telling you, like 2012, 2013, maybe. But then once people around like 2014, Like, when did the Black Panther movie actually come out? Was that 2016? 2015?
2017.
2017?
Yeah.
So, like, a couple years before the movie actually came out in theaters, people were obviously like, oh no, they're making a Black Panther movie. We gotta, and the book started going up. And then the movie came out, and it just destroyed.
I mean, that's probably the only time, and we've both been here a fair amount, that a movie like affected the comic book.
Yeah.
People came in looking for it. Like, that never happened. Everybody thinks it's gonna happen, never happens.
No.
But like, people wanted the trades, they wanted anything they could get with Black Panther.
Anything connected. Every back issue of Black Panther we had, the moment that movie came out, people didn't give a damn what happened in any single issue. They just wanted a Black Panther issue. It was awesome.
2018.
Okay, all right, yeah. I mean, just in case you don't realize, time is just, especially in the past couple of years, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't seem that long ago, and yet it feels like a long time ago. Yeah, talk about it. Dude, that movie felt like rebellion. Like, it really did, especially now that I know it's in 2018 in regards to that kind of 5-year period we were living in terms of our country. Black Panther felt like a revolution, you know.
That feels like it was 10 years ago.
God, it really does. All right, anything? Should I?
No, we're good.
We're all good. We're all good. Everyone's all right. Cool. No breaks or anything.
Everybody's hanging in.
We're fine. All right. Cool. We got plenty. All right.
We're good.
All right. So, okay. All right. So, for anyone who just missed out on this one, this issue is it's a fine runner-up. It's a beautiful book. It's got some significance for a couple other things in regards to Black Panther, and we are specifically talking about Fantastic Four issue 53. All right. So earlier when we were talking about Avengers 87, this is the other one where these were the first two issues that began to talk about the origin of Black Panther. We begin to learn more about Wakanda. We begin to learn more about T'Challa. But another significant aspect, especially for anyone who's primarily familiar with these characters from the movie, this is the first appearance of one of Black Panther's arch nemesis, Claw. And so, so it's the first appearance of Claw. It's the origin of the Black Panther. Now, this issue is very good, okay? Now, it's actually a far better conditioned book than very good acknowledges it is, but except for one kind of like drawback, and that is it has very, very slight water damage. I believe it's along the back cover or something along those lines. It's not the most noticeable thing, but again, this was graded by Mike, and Mike is an honest man. Mike is an honorable man. So even though water damage is one of the most dangerous things next to a book just burning in fire, we still want to acknowledge that the value in the grade is obviously affected mostly by that small little bit of water damage.
There was no stain though, yeah? It was it's like just a wrinkle from the moisture.
Something like that. Yeah, it's like it's strange. But anyway, it's a very good copy at $60, which is still steal if you really think about it. Oh, and someone's
stealing it.
All right, good stuff. Can't pass that up.
Very cool.
All right, good stuff. Okay, so let's take a moment. I haven't complained about this recently, but it's hot. It's really humid.
It's a lot muggier outside.
Yeah, it's a lot muggier, and we're really feeling it.
Supposedly, we're supposed to get rain.
Yeah, where's the rain? No, the rain will happen just as we're leaving. I was hoping the rain would be gone by this point. Anyway,
can't rain all the time.
No, it can't. Now I've reached a new point of not knowing what's up there. I know that there's one book up there that is a mind blower that if we sell tonight, I will feel that I've done 15 years of my job here has been valued.
Before you do that,
to
Mr. Xenon in the chat, Mr. Barucci is willing to relinquish his 53 that you guys are beating over. So, Mr. Xenon, if you want 53, it's up for grabs. Otherwise, it's yours, Mr. Barucci. I'm assuming you meant 53 and not 52.
But please, if you mean 52, acknowledge that.
Throw it back up. If you didn't want that one.
Yeah. Real quick before we move on to the next four, for anyone who was not around for our local show that usually airs. It's our 0 issue every Sunday night. It's where Al and I get a little loose. And if you think that we're loose here on The Experience, then you've never watched the local show. I just want to point out really quickly 3 books that we had just for anyone who's interested. This is Marvel Superheroes number 18 from 1969. It is significant because it is the first appearance of the original Guardians of the Galaxy, Vance Astro, Charlie 27, Martin X, and Yondu, who most of you will probably know from Guardians of the Galaxy number 2, played by the awesome Michael Rooker. This is a very good copy at $100.
Cool. Thank you, Mr. Xenon. Book's yours.
All right, cool. And also,
thank you, Mr. Rucci, too.
Thank you, Nick. That was very, there's a term.
Gracious.
Gracious, thank you. All right, and we also have Iron Man from 1968. This is issue number 1, illustrated by one of the best, Gene Colan. This is a fine minus copy at $700.
All right, real quick.
Yes.
The unknown, I'm not sure who you are, so you got to email us, fjccshow@gmail.com, just to get all this worked out.
Okay, all right.
So thank you.
So if you're joining us for the very first time and you're claiming that book, if this is the first time you're buying something and claiming something from us, we're going to need to get contact and shipping info. So the best way to do that is to email us at fjccshow@gmail.com. And Al here will handle that, and we'll get you the books to you.
With all the books, that's what I wanted to say earlier. We're asking at least 10 days, pick them up within 10 days. I just wanted to reiterate that, just so we're not sitting on the books for a long time.
Yeah, just
That's all. No reason in particular.
Yeah, because these are some pricey books that we would like to kind of get unload or whatever. I don't know.
We'd like to sell them.
We'd like to sell books, yeah. And real quick, the other book that we had shown off in our local show that made it to this show is Tales of Suspense from 1968, issue number 97. It's a fine minus copy at $50. It's the first appearance of Whiplash and also the first meeting of Captain America and Black Panther. And whenever I think of my favorite Avengers lineups of all time, it always has Captain America and T'Challa on the same team. I don't know why. As a kid, maybe it was specific about that kind of like Roger Stern, Jim Starlin, early Jim Shooter as an editor. The Korvac saga is one of my favorite Avengers stories of all time. And it always seemed Captain America and T'Challa were on the team together. Throw Thor in there, and I'm on board.
Wasn't trying to throw shade at anybody for claiming books last week or not paying anything. I was just mainly just reiterating about.
Are we getting accused again of throwing shade?
Everybody's like, I sent you an email. And I'm honestly not. I'm just because these are some big ticket items and we don't want to sit on them for a while. No shade thrown to anybody. We're having a good time.
Yeah, this show is very casual. Yeah. We all know that. But we have to sometimes. Al and I have to remember that technically this is a professional retail shop. And Mike, this is a business. So sometimes we have to kind of put on our, we're serious business caps.
Yeah, we're just,
That's really, we're not talking about anything. We're just reiterating just to kind of.
We're all in trouble.
Make a point, We really mean no.
And everybody smash that like button.
Oh, yeah, subscribe.
Get notifications.
Yeah.
Get it up.
Get on Instagram just so you can follow the Fat Jack's Instagram page.
You would have seen all these
the only Instagram page that has ever existed in connection to the Fat Jack's Comicrypt. I just want everyone to know that.
And because, what was it? Oh, Iron Man 55. So Rayo must have zoomed in because you had.
You can do that. Yeah,
that's his MO. You got to watch.
And that's why I put that photo up because I'm trying to do that. Put up a photo before the show, just kind of hey, everybody, we're about to go. But I had the intention of doing so I had to immediately then mix them up, just so people couldn't anticipate what I was going to do. Okay, so let me first, just for the sake of, let me move these up here. Our Avengers 67, $40, our Iron Man number 1, our Tales of Suspense number 97, and now we're going to move on. Ooh, okay, this is fun because then I recognize what those two are going to be. And I'm pretty sure I know what that one is up there.
Woo. Ding, 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 ding.
All right, so if you've been waiting, it's coming. This next one is all right. What can I say about this specifically? It's from 1974. It was part of Marvel doing what it did in the 70s, which was what's the big fad going on in every other media? Let's get a character out there that kind of captures that. Wait,
like Judo Master Cells.
Yeah. Wait, people like martial arts movies? People like Shaw Brothers? Well, guess what? Marvel were like, we could come up with a martial arts character, right? Of course, he's a white man, but it's a whole other. We can have culturally significant conversations in some other show. Right now, we're selling some awesome key books, and one of them is this first appearance. We're talking about from 1974, Marvel Premiere number 15, the very first appearance of Danny Rand, Iron Fist. This is a very fine minus copy, so it is a gorgeous copy in so many ways. It's $175. All right. It is the first appearance and origin of this character. Okay. Now, for a while, I believe he premiered, or he starred in Marvel Premiere for a few issues, like after this one. Chat. This is the first time that I'm coming to you today.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
There was a few issues of Marvel Premiere, right?
With just Iron Fist.
With just Iron Fist.
No,
okay.
Yeah,
I just wanted to be clear. All right. It looks like someone just claimed that bad boy. All right.
We got a lot of claims.
All right, because this is a cool one, man. And people, if you don't know, Marvel and Disney got all the rights back from all the Netflix shows, and so if it deals with Daredevil, if it deals with Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Punisher, all those characters, they're coming back and they're coming hot.
Real quick,
yes.
Mr. Morales has gotten it. There's a lot. Everybody's claiming it. So, Mr. Wilfredo Morales, this one's yours. You were first in there.
All right, so you were first, bud. So it is you. We do first come, first serve.
So yeah, no, we're good on that. And
thank you everybody for being interested.
I just wanted to stop before everybody else claimed it.
All right, but pay attention. We're not done. All right, pay attention. And again, anyone who knows anything about comic history, okay, we're not. These next two books are key books. One of them is key primarily because of what it starts, and one of them is key because of a character that is introduced that probably has nothing to do with Iron Fist, but the writer who was writing Iron Fist at the time was seeding a lot of elements that would come to fruition in a later title. Yes.
We're going to break.
Oh, it's break time. So there's a little tease, and don't forget that guy up there in the corner. Just, you be ready, okay? All right. See you in a bit.
Silverhawks.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Welcome back to the Greg hole.
Sons of Tiger. Sons of the Tiger. That was the feature.
Sons of the Tiger?
Yeah, you're asking about Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Sons of the Tiger.
Okay.
I don't know. That was the martial arts book from Mr. Hunter and Zane, and it was Marvel Premiere 15 to 25.
So that was the Sons of the Tiger storyline?
I think that was the feature. Like, that was what it was. It wasn't called like Iron Fist feature or whatever.
Right.
I don't know. We've never seen that book before till today.
Yeah. Hey, has anyone been paying attention? Do you think why do you think we're like, chat, tell us things? Man, I almost don't want to. We have a couple books, but we're about these last 3 books and the last one. And for anyone who's watching the local show, you probably have an idea. In fact, I'm pretty sure. Did I mention 2 of them? I think one of them I did not mention.
No.
That one I definitely did. Yeah. So you're probably sitting there going, all right, we're waiting, because I'm so afraid. I know, I'm so afraid though. After these 3 issues, we're gonna lose everybody.
Well,
but I have a bunch of fun. We still have some fun issues after these, okay? And one of them is one that I've never seen before. I didn't even know existed, and Henry was very excited about it, primarily because of its iconography.
Henry did not show up in the chat because you were mean to him in that text.
Because I was mean to him in the text?
Yeah.
Did he say that?
No,
Are you assuming that?
I'm assuming that.
You mean the text where I said mitigate expectations?
He said I was rude to Henry in this text, and Henry hasn't showed up.
I never said I was rude. I just said be calm, tune into the show. If you want to purchase any of the books, you have every right to purchase.
Henry,
Yeah.
don't listen to him.
Again, hey, Al and I aren't buying books before we show them to people. I could have looked at some of these and been like, yeah, this is mine.
What would you take out of this batch? If you had a big bag of
FF52.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
just for the cover.
The cover alone.
Just that's
like
that's a tough one.
Other than that, probably the Captain America 117. Like anything Captain America related. All right, here we go.
What time are we selling books?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Chad. Oh my God. Whip. What is this, Whiplash? With his green little whip?
There we go.
All right, here we go. All right, so we recently talked about Marvel Premiere number 15, the first appearance of Iron Fist. Now we are going to talk. All right, this cover is always, I want to talk about this cover.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because, like,
No,
what is the body language here? Like, what's happening? Like, is he upset that he punched him?
He's like when you punch someone but you miss and you like hit him on the chest, and the whole schoolyard's like, "What was that?" And you punch the dude like right in the shoulder.
It's where you go to punch somebody and instead you just hit him in the ear. You're like, ow. Anyway, for anyone who hasn't figured it out, we're talking about the 1975 debut issue number 1 of our boy Danny Rand. That's right, Iron Fist number 1, a very fine minus copy at $100. For anyone who's confused by what we were talking about, please look at the body language of Danny Rand as he's hitting Iron Man. Like, I guess
he slipped into the punch.
I know. Now, obviously, in the chat, we'll probably be like, hello, Tony is hitting him with a repulsar rare in his face. But it's still, if you don't immediately notice the little energy blast, it really looks like Danny's just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit you.
That's the Danny Rand from the show.
Yeah, maybe. We had a very pleasant conversation with a young woman who came in today and told us how much she hated the Iron Fist show, but loves all the Netflix Marvel stuff. Yeah, that was a fun time. Jason, you were there.
That is this a Gil Kane?
So, oh yeah, Gil Kane cover. It's again, that was an 11th hour book, so I didn't get as much of an opportunity to write up notes. So sometimes some of these books, especially the ones that don't sell themselves, like Fantastic Four number 52, I have to do a lot of work prior to coming on so I can spend 20 minutes to sell you a $5 book. which seems so cost effective, but it's validated because of a show like tonight. In fact, it's such an epic show that we can just talk like jackasses, and I'm pretty sure that you will watch because you're waiting
for 2 more books.
For 2 more books, and I got to tell you, these are awesome.
Well, shout out to Mr. Chamberlain grabbing the Iron Fist number 1.
All right, Mr. Chamberlain.
Very excited. Very excited. I think the chat's mad that you're making fun of the cover, but that's fine.
I wasn't making it. Come on, you gotta get up this price. Okay, do you want me to just hold the book up, say the grade, and say the value, and then move on? If that was the case, the show would have been over within 20 minutes. Okay, but we have almost 3 hours of doing this.
We could be home.
We could have been home. Yeah, you're right. I'm pretty sure I have a girlfriend who would really like me to be home and doing this. But hey, here I am. All right, so all joking aside, we're going to get to 2 more issues, okay? One of them is epic for reasons I don't need to explain. One of them is a book. Again, there was a writer by the name of Chris Claremont. Some of you might not have ever heard of him, but he was kind of famous, especially in the 70s and 80s, specifically for a book called Uncanny X-Men. And as many of you are aware, any books connected to the X-Men, first appearances, things of that nature, will always carry some value. Is something happening? Somebody pick up a...
So shout out to Mr. Bryant for claiming this.
All right.
I believe you're new to our show, so if you want to just email us your contact info that's scrolling underneath.
fjccshow@gmail.com. And thank you for finding us.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll get you invoiced and all that and get your contact info.
Cool. Nice. And do you have any questions?
Any questions about the condition?
What's the grade?
It's fine minus
at $700.
And it's Iron Man.
And it's Iron Man number 1.
Iron Man number 1. If you want us to choke it, you want to just hold it up.
All right, sure, yeah, absolutely. Especially if we're going to say goodbye to it. Who knows when next time? Oh, there's that beautiful glare that always comes in. That's really gorgeous. All right, there we go. All right,
very cool.
Thank you, Mr. Bryant.
Mr. Bryant.
Mr. Bryant.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, bud. Hopefully we'll have you. Now, again, just so we're clear, I would love to say that these kinds of books are on every show.
This is like the bottom of the barrel for us, so it's usually big ticket books. So tune in, and every show it's a different product. So tune in to every single show.
In fact, I'm pretty sure the next 2 books are more indicative of how we are normally. A little bit. All right. So again, now this book, I'm pretty sure this book has always carried value because the character that is introduced in this book, and this was always something when I was reading comic books as a kid, I was always very confused why this character was introduced in this title. Considering the relevance of this character to other titles, I'm obviously talking about the X-Men. And as many of you are aware, a lot of what really pushes value up lately is the success of films and TV shows. And the one company that has been doing the gangbusters over the past decade is obviously Marvel. And the MCU and the Disney Plus shows, all that kind of stuff. Well, as all of us know at this point, the Fantastic Four franchise, and that's Galactus, Namor, Silver Surfer, they're all going to be there at some point. But the other big one, even though there have been films of them since, we all know that we're dying to see what the MCU, what Marvel, what Disney, and Disney as a corporation, but Marvel, Kevin Feige, is going to do with the X-Men. And there is a villain connected to one of the most important characters in the X-Men who will, beyond a shadow of a doubt, be a part of whatever the next phase of these characters are. So this book, which is already pretty expensive, you're buying this low. And I don't normally say this, but this is one of those bets I feel very strongly about. So this issue here, Now it is a very fine copy, so it's a really good copy already, straight across the board. It is $300. Okay, so you first go $300, very fine, man. It better be important. Well, next to Incredible Hulk 181, the first appearance of Wolverine, this character's first appearance is significant and is important, especially if they do anything with the character Wolverine. And I am talking about his arch nemesis, his once upon a time his dad, once upon a time his best friend, once upon a time who the hell knows, because they changed Wolverine and this guy's origin so many times. Who knows how it's going to play out in the MCU. I am obviously talking about the first appearance of Sabretooth. This is a book that I'm pretty sure I've never actually seen physically before, but I know I say that a lot, but this is, again, another one of those. This is Iron Fist from 1977, issue number 14, the first appearance of Sabretooth, a character that has absolutely no relationship to Iron Fist outside of him being introduced here because Chris Claremont was writing the book. And just so in case you're not aware, the last issue of Iron Fist is issue number 15, which guest stars the X-Men.
Is that the only time they meet?
God, who knows? So there we go. I know all of you are familiar with that cover. It's another great one. Again, I wish I would have had the opportunity to do some research because chat. Who is the cover artist here for issue number 14? I'd be curious to know. But anyway, this is Iron Fist number 14, a very fine copy at $300.
Thank you, Mr. Chamberlain.
All right, Chamberlain just destroying it. You're just wrecking it tonight.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta.
And the grade on the Iron Man number 1 was a fine minus.
Fine minus.
Fine minus.
Okay.
But the gentleman who brought it didn't ask. So.
All right, but just in case, it's important.
And thank you, Mr. Chamberlain.
All right, so now I'm gonna take a deep breath because
you sold a lot of books tonight, big guy.
Well, again, I'm going to reiterate, we didn't sell them out. They were going to sell. In fact, I imagine Mike sitting there going, you jackasses. I could have just held them up, said the grade, said the price, boom, they were sold. And yet you spent almost 4 hours selling 20 books. Like, look at all these bundles behind me. Look at all these books sitting over there. And you've spent so much time when it was completely unnecessary. And now you're going to take a breather moment to get ready to sell what's coming next?
I mean, if he wasn't thinking that.
He is now. Okay, so there's a lot of epic keys lately. And there's a lot of books that are super hot. There's a lot of books that are blowing up in value. And there are a lot of books that are blowing up in value, and we're not even at the peak yet. And I'm pretty sure this is one of them. There have been many times on past episodes of this show where we've had opportunities to sell issues, sometimes key in regards to this character, that have a lot of value because this character recently has become really hot, even if people at barbecues don't recognize the character right away. Though I give Henry all the credit in the world for buying a couple copies of a new book that came out to educate his slightly naive friends about the existence of this character. A character that even if most general people don't know who it is, in the next couple years, they're going to know who this is. And just so we're clear, it is not a cheap ripoff of Batman. That's beyond a shadow of a doubt, all right? He's a fascinating character. Sometimes some of the comic books that he has been in haven't always been the best per se, but when this character is written right, when this character is being tackled by a certain writer or creative team that really kind of catch on to the weirdness and the kind of esoteric kind of horror elements of the character's history, and they lean a little bit away from him being just a mixture of Batman and Punisher, which is probably the most boring version of the character. When you really lead into the mental illness, the supernatural, the horror elements, you are getting into a very fruitful, just playground of what this character is at his best. And I got to be honest, he is still just an absolute iconic costume. He looks great. You cannot confuse him with anybody else. Is it sort of like an antithesis to Batman? Maybe a little bit in terms of costume design, but it's irrelevant. This book is not any of the second tier, third tier, or anything key in regards to this character. We are talking about the ultimate full tier of this character. We're talking about his first appearance. And we are talking about a book that is $1,700. So if that price point immediately scares you or puts you off, that's fine. We totally get it. But I still think that's actually a cheap price. Now, first, let's acknowledge it's great. And then we'll get into, most of you probably know what we're about to reveal. This is a fine minus copy, okay? So we acknowledge that. But from just a cursory look, other than a little bit of stress in the corner, in terms of the color, it is a gorgeous cover. I'm pretty sure, unlike Jason, I'm looking at you, I'm pretty positive. Mike graded this, and like I said, OG, man, if you can't trust Mike grading, then I don't know who you can trust. But there's not going to be any secret water damage on the back of the book. Was that a thing? That was Jason's story. Yeah, he bought this ungraded at a show. Jason, if I apologize if I'm, but just for fair warning, if you ever buy a book that's ungraded at a show, please have the person take it out and take an actual full look at the issue before you actually spend $900 on it. Because when Jason got it graded, it discovered that the back cover was extremely water damaged. I know, right? I would be pissed. I'd be pissed too. In fact, every time he tells the story, I'm like, why are you not angrier? So again, this is a fine minus copy at $1,700. Okay. Now, if anyone doesn't already know what this is Werewolf by Night, issue number 32, the very first appearance of Moon Knight, a character that I tell you is going to be huge. He's already taking off. He is already garnering all of this interest. It barely took an afternoon before we sold out of every copy of Moon Knight #1. If you're not familiar, Moon Knight #1 just came out this past week. If you don't understand what synchronicity is, this is the example of synchronicity. I never thought I would have an opportunity to sell anybody a Werewolf by Night 32. I didn't think I'd have the opportunity to sell a really nice copy of a Werewolf by Night 32. But the fact that we had the opportunity to sell this book, a book that didn't come into our possession as Fat Jacks until yesterday, barely 24 hours ago, on the same week that Moon Knight #1 came out. That's synchronicity, people. So here we go. Werewolf by Night, issue number 32, fine minus copy at $1,700. Now, yeah, that's a lot. I'm not denying that. But this has quickly become one of the big holy grail issues of comic book collecting lately. If you follow all of the apps and all that kind of stuff, this is always a top 10, top 20, whatever the case may be. It is, and we're not even close yet to the Disney Plus Moon Knight series. Moon Knight being played by Oscar Isaac. Moon Knight's going to be huge, people. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. And it looks like, did he get claimed?
Moon Knight's got claimed.
He got claimed.
So thank you, Mr. Bryant.
Mr. Bryant, coming, man.
There you go. You picked the right day to start watching.
Thank you.
Yeah, no,
I don't know how you found us, but I'm really happy you found us because this was a very unique episode this evening. And again, we're deep in the summer. I imagine a lot of people might be on vacation or something along those lines. This is unique, and we're very, very fortunate to have had this opportunity to show off these books, which again are super key books, man. And not even just super key books, but books that have a ton of relevance to the market right now. We're not just talking about books that just have value or what have you. We're talking about books that people are searching for, dying for, not really, figuratively, So
people get killed for a lot less.
Well, nowadays. Yeah. So, man.
Yeah, can we get some more likes, everybody?
Woo! That was fun. Like we
went through. We got 2 books left. Nobody wants these. Last chicken in the shop.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can hang out.
For a little bit.
They hang out and stuff like that. We still have some time left. What do we got? It's like, all right, so we have at least a half an hour, But this was an absolute fun time, and trust me, we're gonna dip back into a couple of those books over here. I don't hear anyone clamoring for bundles right now, so we're gonna hold off on them for the moment in case anyone is desperately looking.
Can you run through the last 2 books?
Sure, absolutely.
Before we move on to other.
So the last 2 books from this recent little key extravaganza that we had opportunity to show everybody this evening. The last one here is Avengers, issue number 67 from 1969. This is a Find Plus copy at $40. The issue prior was the first appearance of Ultron 6. This is the continuation of the Ultron storyline. This is a John Buscema cover, but what is significant about this is the interior art of this book is done by a young Barry Smith, who would later be referred to as Barry Windsor Smith. But that is a beautiful, iconic cover of Ultron just effing up the Avengers. So there we go, Avengers, issue number 67, Find Plus, $40. And then the last of our Tales of Suspense collection, we have Tales of Suspense from 1968, issue number 97. This is a Find Minus copy at $50. But what makes this book unique, it's the first appearance of the Iron Man villain Whiplash, who was the villain that Mickey Rourke played in Iron Man 2. And even though he doesn't look anything like that. And also, it is the very first meeting between Captain America and Black Panther, which would lead into the next issue, issue number 98, which we recently sold earlier on our local show, where Captain America and the Black Panther fight for the first time before they become best buds. So there we go. So that is our last 2 books from that kind of sort of key collection. And we're saying goodbye to them. Clean sweep.
It's a shutout.
It's a shutout. Too bad there's no whammies or whatever. There's some strange noise, But we feel, I don't know, I feel satisfied.
Are you spent?
I'm not fully spent because we still have a half an hour and I still have other books. But I feel good. Mike, he all of his hard work has come to fruition. So
wait till we get inside that safe. Ooh, buddy.
I'm telling you, it's still going to be porn and Nazi propaganda.
Even still, we can sell that to somebody.
Yeah, there's probably some
on a different show.
Yeah. What was that book that we almost had before Lord Howard Hertz took it? Like Hansi, the girl who loved the swastika.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Dude, that became
like $150.
Yeah, but it kind of feels uncomfortable trying to sell it. It's very pro-Nazi.
That book was weird, and it was like a Christian coalition book.
Mm-hmm. Put out in like the 70s, right? Lord Howard Hertz, are you still there?
Yeah.
Let us know. When was Hansi, the girl who loved the swastika, when was that published? Because I'm pretty sure it wasn't in the 1930s.
So all you collectors, we might have a copy for you.
Okay, so Jerry, are we okay in terms of break and stuff like that? Do we want to just keep moving along? I'm going to grab a couple things. All right, so
we got about 4 minutes.
About 4 minutes.
4 minutes, everybody. Last break.
Until our last break?
Yeah.
Maybe I want to. Okay, I'm going to hold off before I get to these that I have here in my hand because I feel bad because DC kind of took a hit tonight. We didn't have as many key DC books. It was just the circumstances. So for the last 4 minutes before we go to break, I just want to really quickly let people know we have some bundles here, specifically a lot of DC bundles for anyone who's curious. We have a long run of Impulse books. Impulse is Barry Allen. Bart Allen, excuse me, I apologize. This was from the mid 90s up until like the early 2000s. He was sort of Barry Allen and Wally West's kind of great nephew or cousin or something like that.
That's kind of rough.
Well, just somebody make a.
So of course DC took a hit.
Yeah.
They wanted to sell books.
Sorry, guys. So we have a couple of Impulse bundles. The first one, Mark Waid and Humberto Ramos, who was still early in his career. They were doing the Impulse books. This is issue 1 through 5. It's a complete story arc at $8. We then have Impulse from 1995, issue 6 through 9. Each issue is sort of a self-contained story, so it's not particularly a complete story arc. But still, you get complete single issues in this little bundle. It's only $5. And then we jump up to Impulse from 1996, issue 18 through 22. This is a couple one-shots and a small little story arc. This bundle here is $6. Then we get the complete story of where Bart Allen's mother comes back to the past to bring her son to the future. So this is Impulse from 1997, issue 23 through 26. This is a $5 bundle. And then we have, again, a couple like short little stories that lead into a slightly longer arc. We're talking about Impulse from 1997. This is issue 30 through 36. This is an $8 bundle. Now, at this point, William Mesner Loebs and Craig Russo have begun to work on the book. So here we have issue number 37 through 43. Is a bunch of like Bart Allen shaved off of his gorgeous locks. But anyway, this was obviously this little joke at the Cable and Punisher's expense. But this little bundle here is $8. And then again, some more William Mesner Loebs and Craig Russo issues, leading then into the Todd DeSago, Ethan Van Sciver era of the Impulse series. This is issue from 1999, issue 44 through 50, where you get a little Joker and Batman showing up. This little bundle here is $8. And then we get an author I'm not very familiar with, Baz, but it's some more Van Sciver artwork. This is issue 55 through 61, but issue 60 and 61 are actually written by Jeff Johns, starring his creation, Stars and Stripes. So they kind of jump up into the Impulse kind of era. So this little bundle here from issue 55 through 61 is $8. And then we have the final Impulse bundle. This is the full Mercury Falling storyline. This is issue 62 through 67 from the year 2000. This is issue, 62, 67. I said that already. This is a $7 bundle. And then we get some fun little, from 1989, the character Huntress. Now, the one issue I'm missing issue number 1. So these 3 bundles are almost the entire original Huntress series. It lasted for 19 issues. So the one issue we are missing is issue number 1, which is why this bundle is even cheaper than normal. But this is Huntress issue number 2 through 7. It's only a $5 bundle. It's cheaper than $1 a comic. And then we have Huntress number 8 through 13. Now this is a $6 bundle. Look, even Huntress gets a little psychotherapy. And then we have Huntress. This is the final arc of this late 80s, early 90s Huntress series. This is the Huntress issue number 14 through 19. Yep, you got it. 3-issue kind of story arc ends the series with Batman himself. What's this called? Days of Rage. And if you're familiar with the Huntress, she's got a lot of rage. So yeah, this is a $6 bundle. And then we move into a slightly weirder era, kind of like a pastiche of Kirby and the Fourth World kind of stuff. By Dan DiDio, Keith Giffen, and a gentleman by the name of Scott Koblish. This is Infinity Man and the Forever People from 2014. This is It's almost a complete series. I think it's missing like the last couple issues, but this is a full complete story arcs. You get issue 1 through 8, plus you get the Futures End one shot. So this usually retails for about $27, but we have it here for $10.
We're going to take a quick break.
Oh, now it's break time. Okay, so we'll take a break, and then we'll come back, and we'll talk about a few more Spotlight books, maybe get into some bundles. Have a good one.
There's a town that lies nestled deep in the Appalachian Mountains in the great American state of Pennsylvania. The name of the town is White Ash. With a town charter dating back to 1714, it's one of the oldest towns in the country. And as you can tell from how hard those smokestacks are puffing, it's also one of the coldest. Thankfully, the people of White Ash have a secret that's dark and very deep. A secret to keeping warm, bituminous coal. From bituminous coal as a product ingredient comes heat, power, transportation, and necessities and luxuries almost beyond count. And where, you might ask, does all that coal come from? The answer is places like Alden Mountain and towns just like White Ash, where it's dug from the mountains by the hardest working men in America, our coal miners. But while an industry supports the town supports the industry. Here are two of White Ash's finest young entrepreneurs, Catlin and Kyle, owners of the Double K gas station. Coming or going, they'll get you there. But a town can't be all work and no play. Hello, Alec. Hello, Lillian. Where are you two kids going? Why, they're going to Sif's. Don't let its Nordic theme fool you. The most popular place in every American town is the local diner, and Sif's is no exception. Home to the world-famous Stack Attack, Sif's have been filling the bellies of White Ashians since 1895. Yes, White Ash, founded by men who came from the four corners of the earth, bringing with them innovation, can-do spirit, and dark, dark secrets.
Hey, man, we just came back. All right, so we're back. All right, so I was talking about bundles. If anyone wants me to continue with let me just finish this off real fast, just so we can end it. So back in the late 90s, Mark Waid, Brian Augustine, and Barry Kitson, they did a 12-issue series called JLA Year One. These two bundles constitute the entire run.
The kid from 90210 did it?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they wrote and illustrated this in the Peach Pit.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
Brian Austin Green.
Did I say Brian Austin Green? I didn't say Augustine.
Nope.
I said Austin Green.
You said Brian Austin Green. But it's because of your tattoo.
Oh, you mean my Brian Austin Green butt tattoo? Is that what you're saying? Riggs Murtaugh. Maybe he is too old for this shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, JLA Year One. This is issue 1 through 6. This is a $7 bundle. And then we have the final, this is issue 7 through 12. This is a $7 bundle. And then we have a couple. This was the Mark Waid, Brian Hitch. This was issue 50 of the JLA run post Grant Morrison. And then you get the Golden Perfect. Well, it's the storyline where like the secret identities are separated and it gets all weird. Anyway, this is JLA issue 50 through 54. This is an $8 bundle. And then we get the Mark Waid, Brian Hitch, Terror Incognito story. This is where the White Martians from the early Grant Morrison JLA run, where they come back for revenge. So this is issue 55 through 58. This is a $6 bundle. And then we get when Joe Kelly and Doug Mank take over, which was probably next to Grant Morrison's JLA run. This is probably one of my favorites. This is JLA issue 61 through 67. This is a $10 bundle. And then we have two Justice League miniseries. This is Justice League No Justice by Scott Snyder and Josh Williamson and James Tynion IV, who, by the way, it sucks for everyone who missed out on Nice House on the Left #1, but having finally sat down and read Nice House on the Left 1 and 2, straight up, one of the best books the industry is putting out. Dude, it's brilliant. Yeah, dude, like, believe the hype. Like, it's like, I hope he sticks the landing.
We still got issue 2.
Because the beginning is, like, I read it, like, because Pete Hagen, our boy Pete, Marshall, he was...
Every time he calls for anything, he's like, "Did you read that yet?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't get a copy.
And Marshall, like, he was just like, you know, he was like, "Dude, did you read it?" And I'm like, "All right." So finally, I got the first 2 issues. So I sat down. I'm like, I'm gonna read it. Dude, I loved it. I loved it.
It's Tynion, yeah.
Yeah, Tynion, man. Something is killing the children. He's really I've enjoyed a lot of his mainstream work. It's good. But it was nothing that I'd be like, well, this is really unique. His independent, his creator-owned work, he's obviously holding back on some of his best talent because, dude, Nice House on the Left, we're only 2 issues in, and I am hooked.
I wonder if that Win book is any good.
I'm curious.
It's a kid's book, but we get like one for
subscriber. Yeah, I know. It got optioned.
No,
I think we have the first issue, which has a little value, but I think it's got a weird crease or something in it, which is why I've been a little hesitant to bring it out. But anyway, I know #1 is really hard to find right now, so it's probably different. I feel like I'm teasing you all.
No, I know Mike had like 1 or 2. Like he came across because he definitely he put them on his show last week.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he had the card stock and I want to say just the main cover. He
$6
might have had a
bundle.
variant. But yeah, if you're interested, if you missed it, hit us up during the week. We can do a search because Mike might have a copy for you.
If anyone is looking for sort of like off the beaten track, you're getting you love your superheroes, you love some of your main, but you kind of want to. There are certain writers like I love my Hickman and my Remender and all that kind of stuff, so I always recommend that. But I'm always looking for there's other good books, but you can't read everything. So I'd grab them just because there was some interest at the time. But then some people whose opinions I trust kept telling me, "No, you got to read this." And it's that weird intensity in their eyes. So I'm like, all right, I'll sit down, I'll read it. Dude, I turned to Angela, my girl, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is so good." And she's like, "All right, whatever." And I'm like, "No, you don't understand. It's so good." And she's like, "Calm down."
He's like, "I didn't ask you what you're reading. Get out of here."
She's like, "I'm doing work. You're just the idiot sitting next to me reading comic books." Anyway, okay. So as we are about to finish off the night, we're going to talk about a couple books that I was lucky to find. I was crawling around the Greg hole earlier this week because, again, I didn't know what was about to show up, okay? So I walk into work on Wednesday going, "Oh, my God, what are we going to do on this show on Sunday?" I have nothing prepared. I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to find stuff. So I start rooting around through the Greg hole, and I found a couple books that were really kind of interesting, okay? So the first one, when I saw the cover, I was like, wait a minute, is this what I think it is? Now, the price is primarily acknowledged based upon its condition. The condition of this issue is very good, okay? But look at that cover. Do you recognize that Barney wannabe? Yeah, that's right. That's the Parasite. One of the biggest most well-known Superman rogues gallery outside of Lex Luthor and stuff like that. It was a character that became really big during the Superman cartoon and stuff. We're talking, and at first I didn't believe that this was what it was, and it is the first appearance of Parasite. Yeah, the guy who can suck up Superman's power. So this is the first appearance and origin of this bad boy right here, Parasite. This is a very good copy at $30. This is Action Comics, $3.40 from 1966. Couldn't believe I found this. Oh, someone taking it?
It is. Thank you, Mr. Rayo. Mr. Chamberlain, he beat you out.
All right, James, man. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, a first appearance of one of the, like, an original, like, Superman villain? Because most of that stuff it's so old, Golden Age, such early Silver Age. You either find it and it's in, like, garbage condition or it's way too expensive. And to stick with DC for a moment. Okay, so this was a book. I didn't know this existed. So in 1977, there was a series called DC Special that usually introduced, like, I think you had like a Teen Titans, you got Plastic Man, Captain Comet. There's always different characters being spotlighted in DC Special one-shots. Well, the very final issue, DC Special, published, I think, in like late spring, early summer of 1977, was this one. Now, I've never seen this before. I've never seen this cover before, all that kind of stuff. Because, chat, let me know, has this ever been reproduced, reprinted, especially in the condition it is, like, in its form as it stands now? Because if you don't recognize who this jackass is, this book is significant because it is referred to, and again, I didn't even have to say, Zanin came in on Friday and I said, Zanin, I have a book. And I began to slowly explain it. He went, DC Special 29. And I went, holy shit, Zanin, you really are like just the mentat, the AI of the Fat Jack's live stream show. This is referred to as the untold origin of the Justice Society of America, where a Golden Age Superman with the rest of the Justice Society fight and defeat Hitler and the Spear of Destiny. That's right, tons of swastika, tons of Hitler. There was somebody who came in and went, I should buy that because people are trying to cancel Hitler. And I was like, shut up. Yeah.
That did
happen. It happened. Are you watching? The person who I'm talking about, are you watching right now? Because history is not going to cancel because we need to always remember what happened not that long ago.
January 6th.
I mean, yeah.
1942.
Reichstag. Yeah. And January 6th. Yeah. Don't forget, what's the whole cliche? Those who forget history are doomed to repeat it.
Now it's been claimed.
Okay.
It has been reprinted. Thank you, Zanin.
Oh, thank you, Zanin. All right.
It has been reprinted.
Okay.
Now, Jason, are you claiming it because you think you can get in the movie? Because I don't think that's still active.
Oh, yeah. For anyone who...
So, I mean, if you want it, you can have it. I don't know if Snyder's doing a cut of this that we don't...
Yeah, so this book came out in 1977, and as you can see here, right under Hitler's left armpit, you could also be in the Superman movie. So here we go. This is a fine plus copy of DC Special number 29, the final issue of the DC Special run, $30, the untold origin of the Justice Society of America that thankfully defeated Hitler.
I mean, we got some cool DCs up there. Some nice DCs.
I had to, because again, like the key stuff obviously was primarily Marvel, and I feel, and again, I would love to have done some of the independents and stuff like that. I don't want to be viewed as being biased. This industry is a wealth of different characters and publishers and creators and all that kind of stuff, and we want to celebrate all of that. At the same time, we're a business that want to keep our doors open, and some books carry a little bit more value and interest than others, but that is not an indication on the quality and the art form of some of these other books. Okay, so with that said, real quickly, let's get the last two of the Marvel books out of the way real quick. At one point, this was probably considered a key book. This was Incredible Hulk from 1970, issue 131. This is a very fine copy at $30. For anyone who thinks that comic books don't deal with politics or social issues, have never read comic books, this issue is specifically about the Hulk, who had been recently split from Bruce Banner, and he goes and he ends up in a downtown LA tenement that has kind of been, it's supposed to be torn down and stuff, but you have a lot of people who are homeless, some people with drug addictions and things of that nature with nowhere to go, living there. And so the Hulk found a family. And specifically, he found one character by the name of Jim Wilson. Now, a lot of you might not know who Jim Wilson is unless you were probably reading Incredible Hulk in the 70s and 80s, and definitely during the Peter David run. Jim Wilson was sort of a sidekick. I hate to use that term, but he was sort of another version of Rick Jones, who kind of helped the Hulk and sort of supported him and all that kind of stuff. Well, in the Peter David run, there was a very significant issue in the early 90s when, as a country, we were still having difficulty dealing with what the AIDS epidemic was really about. And no, I'm sorry, it was not God's curse against homosexuals. That was some real backwards, regressive, Reagan, conservative bullshit. But Jim Wilson, he died during the Peter David run from AIDS, but specifically from dirty needles, because Jim Wilson was a drug user. And that's where he met the Hulk, and they befriended each other. But this was the issue that pretty much introduced this sort of new sidekick. He'd use that term, but yeah, it's kind of the case of what it was. A new friend, a best friend of the Hulk. But at the same time, if that's a little too heavy for you, don't worry. The army shows up and Iron Man show up and they completely blow up the tenement full of tons of human beings purely to try to kill the Hulk. But guess what? They don't kill him. So there we go. Incredible Hulk 131, the first appearance of Jim Wilson. Very fine copy at $30. Oh, all right. Nice. Cool. That was one I was really excited by because I loved that Peter David run. And I was afraid that most people wouldn't remember this era of the Hulk. And again, like I got to be honest with people, like comics have always been political and social and culturally relevant. I mean, like, hello, Jack Kirby created a character named Black Panther and literally got a phone call from white supremacists telling him that they were going to kill him. And Jack Kirby went, "Here's my address. I'll meet you downstairs." And guess what? Kirby went downstairs and there was nobody who met him. Anyway, so next up is part of the Captain America run pre the Falcon. Sam Wilson is a part of this run, but it's still before it becomes Captain America and the Falcon. But this is still an era of socio-political Captain America stories, okay? This is Captain America from 1970. This is issue 125. It's a very fine near mint copy at $35. Now, I'm trying to remember. I apologize because there was something cool or unique about. Oh, that's right. There's a good joke here. All right. So Captain America had recently broke up with Shannon Carter, and so to get over it, Al, this is a beauty. To get over his breakup, the thing he decides to do is to watch the 6 o'clock news in 1970. And so, of course, as he's watching the 6 o'clock news, he learns of the disappearance of a doctor in Vietnam. So what does he do? He goes to Vietnam. Again, 1970, people. We are deep in the Vietnam conflict. He goes to Vietnam to try to get this doctor out. And guess who he runs into? The great surprise villain of the year that this cover promotes is, you guessed it, the Mandarin. And I bet you won't even believe what his plan was. Al, can you guess what his plan was?
I can't.
Yeah, the Mandarin was just like, you know what really benefits me as a criminal? To keep the Vietnam War going. To benefit him financially. You with me so far? There's no politics in comic books. You know, come on, people. Anyway, so Cap heads there only to fall into conflict with the Mandarin, who was obviously meddling in the Vietnam War. We have Stan Lee and an artist who has probably been mentioned more this evening than any other artist. Gene Colan does the art. And that is a cover by the very unsung artist Marie Severin. So again, Captain America 125, very fine near mint copy, $35. Okay, we have a heart out, so let us move pretty quickly to some of our DC books. I wish this was in better condition because I didn't realize how valuable this issue is. This is a very good plus copy of Joker #1 we have here at $20. This is the very first Joker series where he starred. This was a period in the 70s where they began to give villains their own titles. And then we have, now this is sort of a bundle, not really. It's 2 issues, but it is Justice League of America 147 and 148. Each of these priced for around $6 to $8, but I bundled it together for $8 for both of these because this is the issue where the Justice League, the Justice Society, and the Legion of Superheroes all cross over together to defeat a bunch of Legion of Superheroes villains. It's a fun little 2-parter where you get just like a smorgasbord of different characters. And again, multiple Justice League characters, multiple Justice Society characters, and multiple Legion of superhero characters are in both of these 2-part story. It's complete for only $8. Oh, and both of them are very good plus condition, which has kind of helped the value.
Why can't I have that? For Mr. Morris, I believe is claiming it.
Absolutely. Oh!
Well, hello, Mr. Morris.
Hello. Welcome back, Hall of Fame Fat Jacks, Mr. Morris. Next up, we get an issue that Grant Morrison.
Real quick, no employee discounts on bundles.
Sorry, bud. Not happening.
Thanks for tuning in.
Where were you earlier, man? You missed out on it was a fun time.
It was an experience.
It was an experience. That's for sure. So here we have a 12-center. We have Action Comics number 320. This is a fine minus copy at $25. This is where pretty much Superman fights Hercules, he fights Atlas, and he fights Samson. This is an issue that was sort of referred to during Grant Morrison's epic All-Star Superman run. This issue is the one that he was referencing earlier.
Mr. Chamberlain, the Captain America is very fine near mint.
Very fine near mint at $35. And then we have some Adventure Comics. Mostly these are fun because the covers are just absurd, and this is the era of just the greatest covers. So here we go. Adventure Comics number 389, starring Supergirl. And technically, it's all about Supergirl's jilted boyfriends, because whenever a boyfriend decides that he doesn't want to be with Supergirl anymore, this cover implies that she turns them into stone and then leaves them on an island together. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure that a bunch of men wrote this comic book, so I don't know what their issues were with their girlfriends, but, there you go, Supergirl's Rock Garden. Next up, we have another Adventure Comic starring Supergirl, and this is a fun one, and another great cover. Adventure Comics number 393. This is a very good copy at $8. Oh, I'm sorry. That one was very good at $10. This is very good at $8, number 393. And this is where everybody on a ball game decides that they don't like Supergirl anymore. And unlike a Philadelphia sports group or fans that would throw snowballs at Santa Claus and batteries at other players, instead people just throw what looks like pink toilet paper and half-eaten apples and cans of beer. So there you go. Supergirl is not being well treated. The unwanted Supergirl, as the cover says.
Hey, Mike in the chat, which you just gave us justice. You gotta let me know what you're looking at here, man.
All right. Next up, because we'll do these last 3 issues because we're about to run out of time. This is Adventure Comics number 440. This is a very good plus copy at $10. This is one of the origins of the Spectre. This is an issue that is updating the Spectre for Silver Age into Bronze Age audiences. So they're retelling some Spectre origins while he's probably punishing somebody. So that is Adventure Comics 440, very good plus at $10. And then we have, for anyone who is unfamiliar, back in the 2000s, there was that series Identity Crisis by Brad Meltzer and Rags Morales that dealt with a lot of the Justice League and some of their past misdeeds and the way that they sort of maybe messed with villains' memories. There were 3 issues that series was really referring to. This is one of them. This is Justice League of America, issue number 167. This is a fine copy at $10. This is one of the 3 issues where the characters begin to, let's say, take away the agency of the villains, to remove some of their memories, to pretty much F with them in a way that is not becoming of a moralistic superhero. So there we go. Justice League of America 167, fine copy at $10, immensely important to the identity crisis storyline. And last but not least, the inaugural issue of the New 52. If you want my opinion about the New 52, I will not share it here to offend anybody, but please come in. I'll tell you all about what I thought before and during. But it is still an important issue. This was a very, very big issue at the time. This is Justice League number 1 by Jeff Johns and Jim Lee, introducing the Justice League for the very first time, tailor-made for movies and TV shows from 2010, a very fine near mint copy at $10.
Is that 2010?
2010, I know. God, 11 years ago.
That's crazy.
And that looks, we have our heart out. So that's it. It's over. We're out. Thank you, everybody. This has been an absolute blast of an evening.
Links to all our shows on the Facebook page and the IG and all that stuff. It's going to cut any second.
It's going to cut any second. So everyone, thank you so much for being with us. If you want, check us out on our Instagram page for the week for whatever the heck's going on. And also we'll be back here on our Facebook page, 4:30 to 5:45 usually. That's our little local show on our facebook.com/FatJacksComicrypt. And also be here on the Experience again next week from 6 to 8. We really appreciate everybody's time, attention, everybody playing books and all that kind of stuff. You make this a blast. We really appreciate it. Please be safe, stay cool, and God, man, share more love than hate. There's too much of it. Everyone, it's been an absolute blast. Peace.